Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the COGG Monthly Let's Play. I am your host, Caleb Eno, and I am joined today by our lovely co-host, Wes Atlee Adams. Welcome, Wes. Glad to have you here.
Hello. Hi, everybody. It's like long time no see, right? I was just on here yesterday. I said I'd be back. And here
Awesome.
I am. So, this is actually a fun one. We've been trying to do this for how long?
A couple months since February or so, as we'll see. So just a quick introduction. We are the Central Ohio Game Developers Group. We are an organization located in Central Ohio where we are passionate about making games, the process of making games. It's a hard thing. It's a challenging thing. It's an awesome thing. It's a rewarding thing, and we love it. And we want to bring people together who also love it, who want to be a part of it, who love making games, learning about making games, and sharing their knowledge, sharing their projects with each other. And so that's what we're here for. This is what we do, and it's a ton of fun. Today is our monthly Let's Play. So we've been doing this once a month-ish since, well, my goodness, Wes, how long has it been? Have we been doing this since 2020 or was it 21? I think it might have been 2020.
I can't remember if we've done it before then.
I don't think we started it. We started it in 2020 or 21.
Yeah, for
sure. So
we have a few collections of this if you're interested, if you like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've got a backlog. We have a backlog. So the idea behind our Let's Play series is we think it is really important as game designers to think critically about games that we play. And what I mean by critically is not that we're saying whether every game is good or every game is bad, but that we're taking the time to inspect with an intentional eye the different things that come together to make a game a game. All of its pieces, its parts, its aesthetics, its mechanics, its various components that all come together. We talk about audio and sound and obviously visuals and just animation. Wes is an animation guy, so we talk about animation. So we tried to look at how does a whole game come together in all its various parts, and let's pick them apart and take a look at them a little bit. And try to see if we can learn how to make our games better by inspecting other games. And so that's what this is all about. We got a couple of people online. Glad to have you on board. Please say hi in the chat. Love to hear more of your thoughts and your questions as we go through today, which I believe, with no further ado, will bring us to our headline today. So today we are going to be playing Helldivers 2. If you have heard of Helldivers 2, I'm really excited to share this with you. So Helldivers 2 came out February 8th this year. So it's a relatively recent game. We don't always necessarily play recent games. There's so many games that we can go through the vast back catalog of all games everywhere to play things. I mean, heck, we've even played the original Rogue on here once. But Helldivers made a pretty significant splash multiple times for reasons that we will discuss. It's something we want to... It's significant enough that I think there's a lot to learn here about. And if you saw the title of the subtitle that I put in the title card for this particular Let's Play, one of the things that I think is really valuable for us to talk about is, as a co-op game, as a multiplayer game, they've done a lot of work on the community aspect. So how does a group of people come together and work together for a common cause in a environment with as little toxicity as possible? And that's a very important caveat. With as little as possible.
Especially for the theme that it's kind of...
Especially for the theme. Great point, Wes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about social development for games. We're going to talk about, it's a third-person shooter, primarily. And so we're going to talk about mechanics around that, because I think generally speaking, they like do really well at that core set of mechanics. And it doesn't matter what you do socially, like to create a good culture, if your game doesn't play well. Like if it's not a good time, it's not really going to matter what you do to build a good social. Like you're just not going to have the players. Like if it's just not a good game. So we're going to talk about that too. But we're going to talk about how they work together. Now, so Helldivers 2 is developed by a company called Arrowhead Game Studios. Helldivers 2 is in fact a sequel. There is a prior Helldivers 1. It wasn't called Helldivers 1, but now it's referred to as Helldivers 1 because there's a 2. Helldivers 1, which I actually played for a little bit, is it looks more like a traditional top-down kind of isometric RTS game. Now you're still controlling just a single character, and you have a team of 4 people, and a lot of the core methodologies, ideologies, philosophies about how the game play works are very similar, but they're just expressed in that more two-dimensional isometric perspective as opposed to Helldivers 2, which is a third-person shooter. Now, it wasn't actually 2D, like it was 3D, the original one, but it kind of had that look and feel of the like 2D isometric stuff. So it's really cool to like see this transition between the two. Now, I really want to point out a couple of things about Arrowhead and the development around this game. So Arrowhead used this engine that you probably haven't heard of before. It's called Stingray. Early in its life, and I actually just looked this up, it was originally developed under the name BitSquid. It was a, I'm going to say it was, I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to double check myself to make sure I don't misspeak. Swedish, yes. It was developed by a Swedish company, and then BitSquid was purchased by Juggernaut in the tech industry, Autodesk.
Oh, I was gonna say Stingray. That actually does remind me, an Autodesk thing.
Yes, so Autodesk bought BitSquid, and they rebranded it as Stingray. Now, this actually happened. Let's see here.
Apparently, when I go to Autodesk website, it says Stingray is no longer available for purchase.
Yes. So it was the original BitSquid was developed in the early 2010s. Autodesk bought it in 2014, and then they renamed it Stingray. And 4 years later, they discontinued it. So in 2018, the engine was discontinued. It wasn't hugely popular. Not a lot of people used it. But Arrowhead used it as like they were supporting a local company, and they were like jumping on board with it. And so Arrowhead's entire back catalog of games, everything they've done has been on this engine, more or less.
Interesting.
But it's now totally defunct. Like, it's not supported.
They still use it.
They still use it. And so this is this really interesting conversation. Like, we talk about engines and editors and all of these things, and switching your game from one engine to another is a monumental lift. And it's not even just we're taking the code from one engine and we're putting it into another engine. It's not even just that, because your entire like architecture as a company revolves around the workflows and the pipelines for your particular engine. So how you do art for 3D modeling and animation. You know this, Wes. Like, one editor to another is totally different.
I think this is a good thing to point out, because I recently had a conversation with someone who's been trying to decide what engine to work on, right? And they're dabbling with some prototyping in Unreal or Unity or Godot or whatever.
Right.
And they said, well, I just need to get it kind of up and running in one engine, and then I can decide which one to go to. And depending on where you're at, you can do that if you're not too far along. But once you get in there and you start really like, fixing and optimizing some of the things in the core foundations of your game, you're gonna have a much harder time switching those platforms, which is why you see a lot of these game studios have engines that are like,
Right.
several, like sometimes decades, old, and they just kind of wrapped more new things on top of it.
Right.
And so, I mean, I've been part of conversations where they're just like, hey, we're deciding whether to jump from one engine to the next, and it's like the decision was ultimately no, let's keep what we have, like big, studios making these decisions because it
Right.
is so much work,
Yeah, it's
right?
so much work. Well, you build your, I mean, because they've developed so many games on this, so I'm sure that they have these really well tuned pipelines for how to actually get the game built. And they have a lot of in house expertise. And so if you're going to switch from one engine to another engine, then you have to reskill your entire team and your entire pipeline. Now, some people might have some expertise in a different engine, and that would probably influence the engine you ultimately ended up picking. So if half your team already knows how to use Unity or Unreal, you're going to kind of probably lean towards that one just because you have the expertise. But just we're talking like a total reskill of your entire company. That's a monumental lift. Oh,
Yeah, and
here's a
it's not
good
even just. Oh,
great
go ahead.
point by Smiling Cat. Even taking a studio from like Unreal Engine from version to 4 to
Yeah,
5, it's almost like switching engines in some respects.
yeah. Yeah, and it's not even just like there are things that is like middleware or software tools that kind of get part of the game
Oh
development pipeline.
yeah, yeah.
That's okay. Like every 3D artist, for example, is always going to probably use either something like Maya, Blender, 3D Studio Max. That's fine. That's not the issue. It's like the particular plugins and
Hmm.
even middleware that's used for those software to get injected into the pipeline that does exist within the engine, for example,
Or even
could
custom middleware that you've
right
written yourself.
it all that stuff could get nixed and then have to be redesigned. And maybe it's for the better. Maybe that's
Sure.
why some of these studios do that. But sometimes if it's like, oh man, we have to spend almost an entire year revamping everything to get to this clean, updated engine, is a lot more work than it's worth.
It's a big lift
So,
for sure. And so it's the kind of thing that you want to go into carefully. Um,
yeah.
I know with the whole Unity runtime fee thing that happened a couple of months back, right? There was a huge panic about, oh my, we have to switch engines. We have to like switch editor because it's gonna like that's one of the reasons that was such a monumental like negative impact on people doing development, because everybody was looking at their numbers going like, holy cow, this is going to cost us so much that it's a suddenly scary situation. And then you have to like, again, you compare the things like, do we risk dealing with this, or do we try to switch our game over to another engine? And there was actually a lot of dialogue on various like YouTube videos and things, voices in the industry having those kinds of conversations about when is it appropriate to switch engines, when is it not appropriate, what do you stick at, what don't you? Well, it depends a lot on where your game is in development pipeline. It's all a big soup, right, of like thoughts and opinions and ideas. But
And
um,
I will tell you if that's the thing. I mean, we love talking about it because we think it's very fascinating. But that's something you're interested in learning more about, or kind of casually looking or
mhm,
talking about. Our group in our Discord channel loves talking about that stuff.
absolutely.
Um, so if that's something you like to deep dive, because we recently did one. I just kind of started the conversation, or somebody started a conversation. Maybe it wasn't me, but like a lot of these terms of service, which kind of maybe we can transition into like this game, but there's something that happened with Adobe where the terms of service was kind of kickstarting people saying like, oh shoot, like you're saying now that our content is uploaded to the cloud, which can be serviced by um, not only Adobe employees but like AI, content, and be used for, you know, mysterious reasons in a sense. It like really threw people off. People started jumping ship from Adobe products and using their own, and we had a lot of conversations about like, what does this mean? Like,
Yeah.
is this something people should consider? and even just like the security risks of things like that, because we are living in a day and age where it's not just humans using the software now. We do have, and have for a while, and Adobe even mentioned this TOS like that people were worried about. Is like they said we've kind of already have this for a while, but it's like the problem is people sneak it in, and then they're like sat here being like, okay, what are the implications?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, you don't want to get to the point where you can't back out, and that's one of the interesting things about software, is that you can kind of be using it for a while and realize, man, it's really hard to back out of this stuff.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
nice as it would be to use the Unreal 5, you know, nanite system and everything like that, and this optimization, there's a lot of studios that say we can't do that. Like it just, there's
Right.
no way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just can't do that.
It's always
They're bigger fish to fry for us.
it's
So to
it's it's a tough conversation, but I think it's a good kind of conversation for the industry as a whole to continue talking about. I think it's really important. But let's talk about treason and democracy. Speaking of, let's talk about treason.
In what way?
Let's talk about treason and democracy. Okay, so I'm going to actually jump us into Helldivers to.
No pun intended.
All right, here we go. Wes and I are in game, standing, looking over the lands that we intend to liberate today. You ready to liberate?
Yeah. Why would I not be?
Those are good non-treasonous words. Here, you can have a hug for that.
Sounds great. It's weird that we're now doing that in the dark.
It got dark because the sun. We've been here long enough that the day-night cycle has looped around.
That's funny.
Yes. Okay. So let's get started. Helldivers 2, as we've said, is a third-person shooter. This is the ship. So it acts as the kind of the hub, the kind of the loading zone, if you will, for your crew, your team. You can play obviously with randos. You can play with friends. You can play by yourself. It's pretty straightforward. There's a couple of terminals that you can interact with. There's ship upgrades. We can talk more about this later. But you have ship upgrades over here. You have kind of your player upgrades. You can change your weapons, that sort of a thing. Your secondary gear. You can change armor. You can change your emotes and things. So there's lots of stuff for you to be able to kind of tinker with, modify. One of the things that really set Helldivers apart initially was that you get a really pretty big catalog of weapons available to you. And so you have primary, secondary, and then support weapons is kind of how the game is set up. And so your primary weapon you'll use a lot, and they vary wildly in their effectiveness, but none of them are uber effective. That's kind of the balance that they try to maintain. There's a lot of things that do a lot of different stuff that can be used to defeat your enemies, but if you only can use your primary weapon, you're going to be really limited in some situations. And then your secondary is your shoot, I ran out of bullets, I need a backup kind of a situation. They can also have some specialized stuff, and then your support weapons are usually very limited in their ammunition, but deal a much bigger punch. That is just a general typical approach. There are lots of spaces in the ship for them to add additional features to. There's a little chunk down here, and then there's these consoles up here on the right. And so I suspect we're going to see more as they continue to work forward with the game. It's a live service game, right? So there's lots of updates. There's lots of new things coming.
The Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission.
Yes. So everything is super. So here's the quick lore dump. If you have seen Starship Troopers, there's a lot of this is playing with all of those ideas, right? So you are citizens of Super Earth. Super Earth has expanded across the universe. And so you see here's Super Earth right in the middle, as it should be. And
just as a note too, I've like not played this game at all, so
he just did the tutorial a little bit ago.
Yeah, so I am fairly new to this, which I can kind of give some feedback to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So basically, there's this galaxy map. There's all of these worlds. Super Earth has expanded out, and this is great. Everything here is tongue in cheek, right? So the idea is that Super Earth is managed democracy is the underlying way that everything works. So basically, instead of everybody getting a vote, you take what basically amounts to a personality quiz, and it evaluates your personality, and from that extrapolates the things that you care about, and then votes on your behalf for you on the things that need to be voted for.
Really?
Yes, this is managed democracy.
Wait, where's this like survey thing?
Oh, well, you don't take it actually as a part of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all tongue in cheek. This is a thing that has happened in the background. This is every citizen takes this quiz, and then the quiz goes into the machine, and the machine votes automatically for everybody on everything that needs to happen.
Wow, that makes that process a lot easier, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Also, all you have to do as a citizen of Super Earth is you just need to enjoy your liberty and your freedoms.
Great.
And so, you have become a Helldiver, which is one of the elite fighting force of Super Earth, and you are spreading managed democracy across the world. And there are two primary enemy types that are available, and so that's the Terminids and the automatons. Citizenship with convenience, yes. all of the perks of citizenship with none of the responsibilities.
Great.
So
Too much thinking is too complex.
Exactly. So Terminids are large bugs, and they're tyrannical. So they're the tyrannical Terminids, and so they're spreading tyranny throughout the galaxy. So you gotta tamp them down. However, Terminid bodies, it just conveniently happens to be when they decompose down into a substance called E710. Do you know what E710 is upside down? Any guesses, Wes?
I can't wait. So I'm like dyslexic, so sometimes it's like.
I'll type it out. I'll type it in that chat. E710. Flip it upside down.
0, 1. Is that L? Is that lead speak?
Yeah, it's leet speak.
O-L. Is it O-L-L-E?
O-I.
O-I. O-I-L-E.
Well, ignore the E. Oil.
Oil.
It's oil. They decompose into oil, which is then used to power all of the spaceships. And so it just happens to be very conveniently that the bugs, when they die and decompose, turns into the most important fuel resource in the galaxy. Gee, I wonder how they keep popping up everywhere all the time.
I mean, that part, so very much kind of like what we compared it to Super Troopers. Is it Super Troopers?
Starship Troopers, right?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got the name wrong. Which was also another interesting lateral coincidence of because they're making they've got an early access game too, which is killing intergalactic bugs, right? So very
popular these days.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's an interesting take in this instance because like I was talking to Caleb like, and he was even talking about it like it's a tongue in cheek on democracy and all the super America like what's the best for my country is the best for the democracy, and how do we carve that in there. And as Americans, like this is a weird time for us, and to see this kind of keep pushing through into fruition of like more and more like people just kind of comically supporting this and finding it really hilarious. It's not just us, right? Like other countries see America and just like, man, you guys are just over the top.
Right.
We love it. Like we love it and we hate it at the same time. And to see something like this kind of really shows that they kind of know their audience, like people wanting to fight for a reason and pour all their heart and soul into it. So I think that was part of it too, is that they really had a good leverage on there, and the rest of it, as Caleb was saying, then it's just about gameplay, right? Does the game actually work? Does it play well? And that was one of the things we talked about is, Starship Troopers was great. Like it's a fun concept, but at the end of the day, it still needs some polish. And kind of once it gets to that point, it could probably do pretty well. But the other thing that I know Caleb was wanting to talk about is the social engineering of this, right? And to push it towards democracy and like you fighting as a team really helps support that initiative.
I wouldn't use the term social engineering. I would use the terms like the social community aspect of it.
Yeah, not social engineering. That was the wrong term.
That's a different.
Social,
that term's a different term meaning everything.
Yeah. But yeah, talk about your experience, because you play with a lot of your friends. Like, what is the experience working with others?
Well, we're gonna dive, so we're gonna do that way. But so between the Terminids and the automatons, the who are like a hive mind, so they're communists.
Oh, okay.
That's the idea behind the automatons.
They, like actual automatons, like robots?
Yeah, robots. Yep.
Okay.
Slightly cyborg, like flesh and metal combination
Gotcha.
Things. We'll stick with Terminids just at the beginning because that's going to be the group. It's going to be a little bit easier to get into, I think. The automatons require a little bit more finesse in strategy and how you approach them.
Okay.
So anyway, the let's talk about this map real quick before we get diving. This is kind of one of the things that I think is really important about what they're doing as a game is this galactic map. They actually have what they call a like game master, like a dungeon master type of person, colloquially known as Joel. Whether it's a person whose actual name is Joel or not, I'm actually not entirely clear on that. But there's this character in the lore called Joel, and Joel is the game master who architects the game map. And so basically what's happening is the war is being fought on these two fronts, and you get these major orders, and the major orders are, you get these significant rewards for them, and you have to like work together as a community throughout the whole of the game space to work towards these. And they primarily are, there's two aspects: liberating planets. So these are planets which are not under your control, and you're trying to get them under your control. Or you have defenses, so planets that you currently control that are now under attack, and you have to defend them. And the way you do that is by completing missions. So right now, most of the stuff that's going on here, so you can see there's 5 planets that are targeted for liberation right now. And we've got, let's see, what we got, about 2.5 days left for this major order. 2 of the planets have been liberated. Actually, this is not looking fantastic. Fatic Bay is actually on defense right now, which is not great. So
it's being taken over by...
So it's being taken over. So you see there's 2 bars. There's the blue bar and the yellow bar.
Yeah.
Basically, from a systematic perspective, what this is doing is the yellow bar every however long, the yellow bar is accumulating points. And then you go and do missions. When you do missions, you accumulate points for your team, and then progressively, you're trying to get to the end before the yellow bar does. So right now, I'm kind of losing. Now it is midday on a Sunday. That probably has, player count has something to do with it. There's only about, just under 10,000 people working on that right now.
Hey, wait until the 4th of July weekend comes, man. We'll liberate everyone.
This is only 2 more days, so there's a good chance that it's not going to work out.
You're saying this is like everybody who's playing Helldivers. Well, I guess that's the question. Is it everybody? Or
it's everybody.
Certain sections?
No, it's
really neat.
The whole shebang. Yeah, because let's see.
Playing can help liberate these planets.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Urson Sands. Where is it? Huh. There it is. Okay, so you see these lines on the map?
Yeah.
So these lines are called supply lines, and they actually dictate pathways between the planets. So you can't actually just go to Urson Sands directly. The only way to get there is we have to have control over Esker to get to Urson Sands. So right now, Esker is only 7% liberated. Yeah, that's going to be tough to win this. Because they have to liberate Esker, then liberate Urson Sands in order to get that one. And then I think both Fact and Akamar are on defense right now. Yeah. So both of these have to be successfully defended. Looks like Akamar's going to make it. And then Fact has to... So, anyway, yes.
What point changes the planet to a defense, like...
That is at the game master's discretion. So they get to make the decision about when a planet goes on defense.
Okay.
So a defense means that we had liberated that planet, and now we have to defend it and prevent it from being liberated.
Yeah.
If we lose it, we have to re-liberate it.
Gotcha.
In order to get it back.
Esker is right now. We're trying to liberate that one, right?
Yeah, so Esker isn't actually on the list, but that's the only way for us to get to Urson Sands, is to get through Esker.
What are the ones that have, like, the little 2-line circle symbols underneath them?
I think it just means that for the moment they're kind of you can't really go there. They're just kind of out of the picture in terms of like importance. Yeah. I don't know exactly what that means. But yeah, so just looking at everything right now, let's go Akamar. Okay, so once you pick a planet, so you can kind of like see what the goals are, you can see where everything is, and you can start working on the missions. So there's missions everywhere. One thing, this is a problem with where our pictures are positioned on the screen, so I'm going to move us around here. I'm going to put us in
everywhere else. It's fine.
I'm going to move us to weird spots for just a second while we take a look at this. So there are actually mission difficulties. So the level 1 difficulty is trivial, and then you have easy, medium, challenging, hard, extreme, suicide mission, impossible, and hell dive. And each one progressively gets more and more complicated and difficult to do. For our purposes, Wes, it's your first rodeo. Let's play trivial. We won't. I actually haven't ever beaten a level 8 at this point, so I don't even have hell dive unlocked. But
oh wow,
if
you have to unlock those.
Well, so you have to have beaten the previous difficulty to unlock the next difficulty.
Gotcha.
And that's sort of like your individual progression. So if you and I went and did one that was much harder, and we beat that, you would just unlock 2, because 2 was the next one for you to unlock.
Okay.
It wouldn't like jump you all the way ahead. If I recall that correctly, I'm pretty sure. So trivial. We're going to do a trivial one, just you and me. For trivials, there's only one mission, one mission, one drop in a mission set. So once you go up, you start getting 2 missions, and then everything from 5 up has 3 missions.
That's what they mean by the operation status?
Yeah, I guess operations, or what their terminology is. So you have an operation, and then each of them you get a mission completed bonus. So if you'd like take a look at this one, let's take a look at this one.
This operation will fuel Liberty's future.
So there's 3 missions. So this is a defense. This one is you have to go and collect some research data, and then this one is you're going to launch a rocket, a nuclear warhead. And so those are the 3 missions. You have to go on each one, complete them within the time limit, and then evacuate. Very similar to how Deep Rock Galactic would work, if you remember Deep Rock. So you would go in, here's your mission. Once you finish the mission, then you can evac. So I'm going to move Wes one more time here. So we're not going to do an impossible mission. We're going to go down trivial. Trivial is usually pretty easy. Raising the flag is usually one of the basic trivial ones. So we have this globe. It's just kind of visual representation of the planet. There's these various missions littered throughout. You can hover over them and see what missions are available. Let's do a flag raising one, because that's a very patriotic one that we can do. So this looks great. So
Near operational completion.
you can get a little bit of a window into what the map is going to look like. This is a very small map, but we do have 40 minutes to complete it, which is tons of time for this kind of a thing. But this also will be good. Oh, you got a question, Wes? Sorry.
I wonder, so this right here, because you were talking about the first Helldivers was kind of more tactical.
Yes.
I wonder if this is like homage to that type of style of gameplay where it's like you got to think about where you are on the terrain, what obstacles you come in your way.
Yeah, and that's definitely a part of this one too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not as frequent that you run into a terrain difficulty, but it definitely happens.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of just get in here. So I'm gonna select this one. So we're gonna FTL jump to that planet. So we now have arrived at Akamar.
FTL jump successful.
Okay, we're here. Our mission is selected, and now it's time to get into the Hell Pods. So here's our Hell Pods. Go ahead. You can get in. Okay, now we gotta pick a spot. We gotta pick a spot that we want to drop into.
I'm assuming. Oh, does it anywhere or like?
Yeah, anywhere.
Okay.
So this is where extraction is. This is where we raise the flag, and we can drop in anywhere. Now let's drop in somewhere quiet. And see that kind of red pulse around it? That means that there is a bug hole is there.
Oh, okay.
And so
even though that's closer to the flag, it's probably better to.
Yeah. So let's go over here. All right, so once we picked our mission, we picked our drop zone, and the last thing that we want to do is choose our loadout. I don't know that you'll have anything.
Yeah, I don't really. When I was looking, like, I didn't really have much new.
So players will be able, or viewers will be able to see my screen on things that I have available, which it's not everything, but it's a lot of stuff. This is going to be absolute monster overkill, but I'm going to bring this and this and this. Oh, just this is going to be just stupid for this mission. And yeah, let's go full bore. Okay, so you can pick. These are called stratagems. So I think this is one of the things that actually sets Helldivers apart. This is kind of their special gimmick for how this works. So we'll show you how all this works in the game. But basically, what you can do is you can choose from a set of 4 extra special features that you can bring with you that will really amp up both the cinematography and also the tactical gameplay that you have available to you. So you get to choose up to 4 stratagems. That's what they're called. And then you can also choose a booster if you have boosters unlocked. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose this booster. Basically, by default, when you come out of your Hell pod, you come out with your ammo, stims, and grenades only half full. And so with this one, you come out of the Hell pod with them full. Which I think is very advantageous most of the time. It's one of the basic ones that most people run with. But, okay. You good?
Yep.
Actually, you might have one stratagem, Wes. Do you have the machine gun?
Oh, is it mission stratagems?
Yeah.
There's... Oh, go back.
Yeah, if you click on the gray boxes, you should get a list pop up, and you might have the machine gun already.
Yeah, my loadout is, there's the pistol. Try to get... Yeah, I got assault rifle.
Yeah, so that's the R menu. Go ahead and hit R again to switch back to stratagems.
Yeah.
And then the four gray boxes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I thought you might have the machine gun. Oh, and you got the orbital strike. Excellent. Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's the only two I really have. Oops.
Yes, I believe that's correct. That sounds good. Okay, so you can hit ready up as soon as you're ready to go.
Wait, it took me back. What button did I hit?
You might have hit the back button.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry.
Okay, fantastic. All right, the most cinematic mission start scene ever. Here we go. The music goes so hard. Don't you just feel ready for democracy?
Oh, you can kind of land a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
you can
cool.
maneuver a little bit.
I want to be able to like have fireworks coming out of my pod when I go down,
I love it.
or like a screaming eagle or something.
Okay, so now that we're on the ground, let's do a couple of things. So in order to do stratagems, it's the control button by default. And so you open your stratagem menu. When you are arming a stratagem, you cannot shoot. That's one thing worth note. By default, also the stratagem buttons are queued to WASD, so you can't walk around either while you're doing stratagems. I actually rekey them to my arrow keys so that I can move around.
Oh, that's
But
actually.
It does mean you have to take your hand physically off of the mouse and then onto the arrow keys in order to do this. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there, but I think the being able to maintain maneuverability personally, I like.
You could just use your nose.
smashing my head into the keyboard to do my stratagems. Yes, excellent. Okay, so there is a series of commands.
Well, sorry, just
go ahead.
To clarify, there isn't like a this is PC only, right? This not like or is this for
No,
PlayStation?
it's PlayStation and PC. Yep.
Okay, so yeah,
Also, Steam and I think also Epic, maybe. I think is it on Epic? Maybe. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
It has crossplay.
Either
So
way, PC and controller, right? So I'm kind of curious how they do that. Is it D-pad maybe? But anyways.
I think so. I believe that is correct. Yes. Yeah, so you can go ahead, and what's really nice, I think the UI on this is actually pretty great, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think generally speaking it's fine. So like if I wanted to call in my grenade launcher, which it's blue, so that's a support weapon, so that's something going to drop and then I can pick up and use. So I'd have to push down, left, up, left, down, and then I'm armed. And once it's armed, you then have to actually throw it. Hits the ground. And then you have to wait, because what's happening is your destroyer is actually launching your equipment down from above to your current location. So you just grabbed your machine gun. I'm going to go ahead, walk over here, and I'm going to grab my grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's like if you know DDR or QuickTime events.
Right? Yeah, it's first person shooter third person shooter DDR, which is I just love it so much. Oh yeah, you can find random weapons lying around. So you can go ahead and grab that if you want to try out a different weapon. So that is a whoa boy.
Yeah, I was like holding down at first.
Yeah, so that's the arc thrower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a support weapon. So that replaces your support weapon. So you can only carry one of each. So I've got, this is my incendiary breaker. So it's widespread and causes fire damage. Less damage, but causes damage over time. Then I have this shotgun secondary weapon. And then grenade launcher, which is great for splash damage. Anyway, we just caused a whole bunch of noise, and that's great. Oh yeah, a very key feature that's super important is either crouching. So when you, if you right click, you go into a kind of zoomed in focus mode. You can also right click and then middle mouse button to go into kind of a first person mode as well. When you are
really?
When you are in your third person focus mode, just holding the right mouse button down, there's a circle that shows up around the kind of dot reticle. So you have a dot reticle that shows you where you're pointing, and then there's a gray circle that kind of follows that. That gray circle is where your weapon is actually pointing, and so it actually takes into consideration your character's motion and stability. And so the more that you are moving around, the more that it wobbles, and the more stable you are, the less it wobbles. So you can actually stop moving, and that'll give you some stability. You can push C to crouch, and that'll give you more stability. And you can do Alt and dive into prone, and prone will give you the most stability. Diving, really important. Diving is also gives you a couple of invincibility frames, and so you can get out of dodge of situations that you might otherwise die in.
Oh, is it like if you dive, then you can't get hit?
Just like there's a very small window where you can't get hit, but then it can also leave you a little bit more vulnerable because you're suddenly on the ground. So it just depends. You do have grenades, very standard usage. You use the G key and you'll throw them. Actually, if you throw a grenade at that, that'll blow that door open, and there's some goodies inside we can get.
Oh god, they had like a explosion tank too.
Yeah. So there's some super credits in there.
Yum yum yum. What's in that?
And then there's requisition slips on the top. Oh yeah, so what you just found here, this is a sample. Samples are how you upgrade your ship. So there's three kinds. There's common, rares, and supers. Rares and supers can only be acquired on higher level difficulties.
Okay.
So they're littered throughout the map. If you actually hold in the tab button, you'll get a map, or if you push tab, you'll get a map. In the top corner, you will actually see the total number of samples available on the map and how many you have.
Oh,
so we've gotten one out of a potential of 14. On the map...
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
if I pick that up, is that for me or for both?
So you physically have it in your possession, which is very important. You actually have the sample on your physical person. But if you get onto the ship at the end with samples in your inventory, then everybody gets one.
Oh, okay.
So there's
But if I die or whatever, then
Right.
that risks the ability to keep that.
Correct. Yes. So when you have the map open, you can actually scroll in and out on the map, and then you can right click and you can move around and you can add pins
200 meters.
to the map.
Oh, nice.
And so each of us get our own individual pin, and we can actually suggest where to go.
100 meters.
That's cool.
And so you can highlight one. And what you'll do is you'll actually see in the top bar, there's a directional bar that actually will show your pins on it or objectives that you've highlighted.
Oh, okay.
200
Yeah, your
meters.
nav points or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And so you can tab to close that.
Reloading.
R to reload. You can actually reload a weapon before it's empty, but you are a treason if you do that. You're a traitor if you do that.
Why?
Now,
What?
I'm sorry, Wes. All right. So now you
Yeah,
can,
drop that item.
when you die, you can be reinforced.
Another diver for the cause.
So wait, if you reload, is it wasted ammo?
Yeah, it's just basically
Is that
wasted
why?
ammo. Yep.
Okay.
Welcome back. This is what the samples look like when you die. They blink and they make a little beeping noise.
Okay.
And so you want to make sure that if somebody dies with samples on them, that you get the samples. You'll come over and grab the samples.
No idea why I died. It just all happened so quickly.
Awesome. Okay, the last thing that you need to know before we go into combat. Pressing the V key when you have anything less than full health will give you a stim. So let me try and pull this off. Don't move.
Well, if you didn't have such
Push
powerful
V.
weapons-
Push the V key. Oh, you weren't fast
Oh,
enough.
I did. V, right? V is in Victor.
V. You did the right thing. I saw you give yourself a stim.
Okay. You shouldn't have such powerful weapons. I mean, it's.
Oh,
in
did
some
I
sense
just-
reassuring?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, great.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so go grab your samples. You don't have to. I could grab the samples, but I want you to grab the samples.
Sure, I don't mind.
Okay, we've got 30 minutes remaining. This is going to be pretty cakewalky. Yeah, so friendly fire, very much a thing. Absolutely a
Yeah.
thing. That is probably the most toxic that you can get. My brother was in a match where somebody dropped with him as a rando, went and found the super samples because you have to find them. They're hidden on the map. Collected them and then jumped jetpacked into water, which you die if you go into water that's too deep.
Oh,
And so that he died and left the super samples in the middle of the lake, so no one could get them.
my God.
And then left the game. Yeah, so toxicity is very much still a thing in the game.
That's great.
All right, so you can push shift to sprint. You do have some health or not some sprint bar there. You can stop sprinting to recharge your sprint. Yeah, let's get in here.
So
All
our
right.
goal is just to raise the flag.
So we got to raise the flag. That's right. All right.
Nasty.
I think we're about to have some friends.
Nasty out here.
So we're almost where we need to be.
There's one.
Yeah, I think we need to be right over here. Oh, look, there's a bug. Shoot it.
Say there's.
Shoot it.
Have a taste of democracy.
Okay. One of the things that the bugs can do is they can do something called a bug breach. So that's where they basically create a situation where enemies will spawn for a certain amount of time.
Like a wave?
Yeah, like a wave.
Okay. That's that red bar up there is?
Yep. So the bug breach is actually right over there.
Tagging location. Have a taste of democracy! Tag's empty.
Oh, we got some coming up from behind.
Oops, shit. See, now you got me worried about reloading.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a bug hole.
Last reload.
Right here.
Bug hole. On my position.
So the way that you do this is you throw a grenade into it. So you got a grenade. Aim your grenade and throw it in there. I'll keep him off your back. Very nicely done. There's one over here.
Bug hole. On my position.
Well done.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Okay, so we got rid of the bug holes. Now we can call in the Super Earth flag. So go ahead and call that stratagem in. It should show up now on your list.
Objective critical stratagem
Over here.
available.
Over here. Because you have to be closer to where it is.
Oh, where is it?
I think it's at the top of this hill. Is where
Just have to
where it
kinda
will
be
come.
nearby. Oh, yep. Thanks.
I'm gonna close this bug hole.
Sometimes you gotta just close that bug hole.
Yeah, gotta close that bug hole. Salute! You gotta salute the flag, man.
Is that how it works?
There you go. Otherwise, you're a traitor.
See, this game has tons of like unique things that they could do like achievements with.
Oh
In the
yeah.
beginning, you have to watch the like video, and they say if you skip this, you're a traitor. And I skipped it hoping to have an achievement. I was like, no, I didn't have anything. Well, it's only because I've seen the trailer for this game, so I already know.
Sure.
But
Now, what's fun is actually sound in the game is pretty important. And so the fact that this is playing the theme song super loud would actually draw the bugs to the area on more
Oh,
difficult
really?
missions.
that's so funny. So what is this thing doing? Is it recording us? This little droid?
Perhaps? I'm not
Drone?
entirely sure, but that's a good guess.
But it's not like it has a weapon or anything, right? It's just kind of...
Yeah, I don't know. Unclear. Oh, we get some baddies.
Get some! Get some!
I love how long this takes. I mean, it's so stupid
Wow.
long.
All the technology, like... that takes so long.
Oh, you know, I think that's actually a backpack that you picked up.
What?
Are you wearing that backpack? Maybe not. Actually, is that following you, or is it just kind of there? Oh, not sure.
What is it? Like, my gun?
No, the droid. Is it going to stay... Is it following you, or is it following the flag? It's unclear. Come over this way.
Oh. It doesn't seem to be moving.
No, I think it's with the flag. Maybe they added that, because I don't think that used to be there. But I know what that is. That's one of those guard dog... that'll, like...
Like a turret
It'll
thing
like
or
yeah,
something,
it's like a
maybe?
little turret thing. You can actually get one in a backpack that'll follow you around. Indiscriminately
okay.
shoots everything, by the way, including people who are in the way.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're in the way of justice, then...
That's
how it
true.
is.
That's true. That's just how it is.
Fair and just. Oh, and I never switched my fun gun. I wanted
Oh
to try
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We should go find an enemy troll. You can try your fun gun. Ooh, there's a glowy glow over here.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
What does that mean? Oh, is that a common pickup? Right.
Well, this one is going to be... So there's these little ships, these little pods littered around. So come over here and hit interact on it. It'll pop open, and then there's super credits, sometimes medals or weapons in there.
Okay.
You also find ammo
like,
lying around.
you know what it kind of looks like to me? Reminds me. It looks like Star Fox's ship.
Oh, that's funny. It kind of does. Oh, hey, enemies. Enemies. Right here.
Marking location. West.
Light them up!
Oh wow.
Oh, they just bug breached.
Oh, am I out? I'm out? Is it because it's trying to... Not as familiar with that one. Yeah, I'm not used to that. Like, I'm used to games where you reload is just a way to make sure you get stocked back up. But
Yeah.
the fact that it throws the entire ammunition away
Yep.
is kind of interesting, but I have to relearn that.
Yeah. You
That's
can't just
kinda crazy.
indiscriminately reload.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
to
see.
be honest, that's actually, I guess if you're going for quote-unquote realism,
Exactly. Yeah.
kind of makes more sense because you would never do that in real life.
I think that's yeah. I think it's a really good mechanical choice because it adds a lot more weight to the decision to reload.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might choose to not reload. Oh yeah, they have these like set dressing things that are littered about, like bodies and
People.
buildings and things. I think it adds a more interesting vector of choice onto whether you reload or not.
Yeah, that and like how much you fire,
Found something.
because you don't want to just empty out.
Yeah, Smiling Cat it's more realistic to have reload work that way, but less player friendly. I think the reason that it works in Helldivers is because your clips are usually really small. Like you don't usually have very many bullets, and so the gap between starting to fire and being out of ammo isn't very big, and so you get to make that choice in a more, like, if you're at half a clip or you're at like just a little bit left, the frequency of pickups is enough that it's not really you're not losing a lot. But sometimes it can be that little bit of an edge of a difference between success and failure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just wandering around because I was trying to see if we could find anything interesting, but I'm not really seeing anything.
Pickups.
Yeah.
I
Pickups.
just totally exhausted myself. It's kind of neat. Like I've got a bunch of mud on my cape and everything.
Found something.
Oh, yeah. They actually added that not too long ago.
Yeah. I mean the graphics in this is like surprisingly pretty good. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Granted,
It's
some
a
of the
buddy
stuff is-
door! Yay! We get to do a buddy door. It's a buddy door. You have to have more than one person here. Push the button to open the door.
Okay.
You have to have a buddy to open the door.
Oh,
This-
has it got a bunch of collectibles?
Well, it's got some super credits, medals. Ooh, yeah, we want those medals. That's great.
Extraction is available.
Oh yeah, that's great. You don't always get that many medals in here, so.
What's this blue one? I don't.
That one's grenades. No, that one's
Oh.
stims. That one's stims. Sorry. Yeah, so stims is the blue one.
Okay,
Grenades
and
is
if
this one
I-
over here.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's go through the extraction process. It's the blue light over yonder.
Is that just going back where we landed?
Well, we landed a little bit south of extraction.
Okay. But that means it's a predetermined.
Yes, it's a predetermined location.
Okay.
Though this is all procedurally generated.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still going.
The music. Hey, join me.
Oh. I just did a weird parkour thing there.
Parkour.
Now that's a true patriot right there. Where's the blue light? Where'd it go? There it is.
Still this way?
It's also visible as the big... Oh, yeah, you stepped on a mine.
Oh god, what does it look like? Is it the orange yellow?
Yeah,
thing?
the little orange spiky things.
Okay, I had no idea. I guess I just never ran into one.
There's usually common samples around places
I
like
hear
this.
it.
Oh, here we go.
Reloading.
Guess I'm entirely out of my zappy zap.
There's usually some samples
Got a sample.
around extraction. Usually like any building complex. Okay, so we're gonna do something later that you can see more of this, but this is interact with this point to call down the extraction.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, you do it. You got to push the arrows in the right path. Anyway, this really great question from Leonardo. In your opinion, Caleb and Wes, what is the most unique mechanic in this game? Wes, do you want to take a stab at it, or? I have an answer, but I want.
Yeah.
Please feel free.
Well, I mean, you've already noted it. I mean, I haven't played enough to really know, but yeah, the
Here.
stratagems.
Here, this.
Sending in an eagle.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay. Oh, I was eliminated. I was too close. Oh my gosh.
For democracy.
I mean,
Oops. Uh-oh.
Reinforcing!
so did you call something?
Yeah, I called in my stratagem.
And can I hit a bug?
Oh, shoot. I just
That
died.
would be great.
All right, Wes, you got to call me back in.
How do I do that?
So it's one of the stratagems.
Oh, I got you. Shoot, man.
Don't worry. If you die, it'll call us both back in. We do have a limited number of reinforcements, though. You got it. I believe in you. Do it. You did it. I did. You did it, Wes. There it is.
I'm gonna stem.
Great job.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
And you can, in fact, land on people.
That's cool.
All right.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
All right. I got all the samples.
Good.
Pelican 1 arriving at coordinates.
You did great, Wes.
Yay.
Pelican 1 landing in progress.
All right. Don't let Pelican 1 land on you.
Where is he landing? Oh. That's not helpful. I had no idea.
Okay. Come back here. This is where the entrance ramp is.
Gotcha.
Get in. Get in. Get in.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart.
I hope it didn't, like, drop my wallet.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
There we go.
QTEs for supplies and attacks are cool. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of like one of its main things, but I haven't dived enough into it to like know how
Dived.
like the weapon systems work and the loadouts work. I'm sure those are kind of
I think it's the stratagems. I really think that that's the most unique, most individualistic kind of part of the whole thing.
Although I did like the intricate like breakouts of the map systems too when you're choosing where to do your
Yeah. The drop locations is really good too. Yeah, for sure. The other thing. Oh, okay. So we got 6 samples. We got some experience. You're level 2 now.
Yeah. Hey, I hate to say this. I just need like 30 seconds to use the bathroom real quick.
No, please go ahead.
I have
I'll hold down the fort.
coffee.
I'll hold down the fort. Yeah, so at the victory screen, you get different poses and things. That's pretty standard. And you can see your stat breakdown of kills, accuracy, and things. How many times you killed other players called accidentals. You can see my beautiful 3 right there. Whoops. Yeah, so I think it's the stratagems for sure are one of the most unique parts about the whole thing. There's so much that you get to do. So let's go take a look at the stratagems. So they have a whole list of things for your support weapons, and a lot of them are highly situational. So they are very useful in specific situations against certain enemies, and completely useless outside of that particular context. So machine gun, this is the one you get by default. That's the one Wes was carrying initially. It's a lot of bullets, way more bullets than most other things. Hey, Wes, yeah, I'm getting a rundown of the stratagems. So we're talking more about that specific list. If you come over to the console that I'm looking at right now, you can also look at the stratagems list, and you can see all of the ones that are available to unlock.
I'm full of blood.
You're covered in bug blood. That's your prize, your badge of honor.
Okay, all right, great. I love it.
So you have things like the machine gun, which lots of bullets, low armor penetration. This is another thing that we didn't really talk about, but actually lots of different bugs have a whole slew of different kinds of armor on them, and and it's actually, there's a lot of minutia to the armor system. So there's like leg armor, body armor, head armor, thorax armor. There's like armor all over the bug, and depending on how you're hitting them and how well armored they are, your bullets can do full damage, half damage, or ricochet. And you can actually get hit by ricocheting bullets, which is wild. It's always fun to kill your teammates by ricocheting off of a charger. So machine gun is not going to have a lot of armor penetration, but you can use it to mow down a big group of enemies. It's very effective at that. You have things like the expendable anti-tank. So you actually, when you call these down, you get 2 of them at once. You can call it down about every minute or so. But they only have 1 shot each. They'll do a bunch of damage against a more heavily armored enemy. But if you miss, you're kind of toast. So you have lots of different things. Flamethrower, very classic. People love the flamethrower. You can use it to burn through a bunch of enemies. All kinds of stuff. You have some unique ones, like the autocannon. So the autocannon is going to be a big bullet that's going to do a lot of damage from really far away. It comes with a gun and a separate backpack that you can wear with the ammo. If you are doing it yourself, then you get a slow reload. So very slow process to reload the gun and fire a second shot. If you have somebody else wear the backpack, you can do what's called assisted reload. So they can actually come up with you and they'll reload for you really fast, and you can shoot a lot more quickly.
That's cool. Wait, are those the automatons?
Yeah. So things look like walkers. Yeah, those are.
ATs or whatever.
Yeah. ATS2s. Nerd hat.
Not at all.
Yeah. So once upon a time, the railgun was the goated weapon, and it's a charge up and shoot kind of a thing. But if you overcharge it, it explodes in your hands. But if you time it right, you can penetrate most armor. So it's kind of a more finesse weapon. And then you have orbital cannons. So your destroyer is above you, right? And so the destroyer has armaments on it, and you can use those armaments to target your specific locations. You can do things like a Gatling barrage. You can do the HE barrages, which are kind of like more like kind of within an area scatter shot. You can do things like the orbital laser, which is one of my favorites, where it'll shoot a continuous beam that'll target the most powerful enemy in the area. Orbital rail cannon strikes are great. So they'll target just one enemy, and they'll fire a massive rail cannon strike at it. Usually will take it out in one shot, with a couple of exceptions. Great for chargers.
Oh, is that like it auto aims or something?
Yep,
or?
it'll auto aim. So within a radius of where you put your stratagem down, it will target the most armored enemy in that area.
That's cool.
Which is typically what you're trying to shoot at, is the most armored enemy.
Yeah, really. That's cool.
So you've got those orbital strikes. Orbital strikes have limited use, so you usually get a certain amount of uses of them per mission. You then have the Eagles. So the Eagle is a fighter jet that delivers payloads, and so you can have a set of different payloads, and you can use those, but then they'll have like a certain number of armaments, and then they have to reload before they can do it again. Some of them are more limited, but that 500 kilogram bomb was that you died to. That was from the Eagle. So you get things like the Eagle airstrike, which, when you get the ability to, I highly recommend you get the Eagle airstrike. That's one of the most versatile and useful stratagems early on.
That's the one that you used?
That's not one of the ones I use just now, but just for general purpose use, it's very good because it can clear enemies. It can also destroy bug holes, which is what it often is very useful for.
Oh,
so if you have like a big nest of bug holes, you can wipe out a bunch all at once. That's very useful. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things that are very useful. Obviously, the 500 kilogram bomb is very fun. It's actually pretty hard to aim because there's a timer between the bomb landing and then the bomb exploding.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a little bit more tricky to aim, but it's the most cinematic of all of them.
That's the one I died from. I remember.
Yep.
It looks
kaboom.
Very it's bringing back my PTSD. So.
And there's a couple of other things. The HMG emplacement is like a turret, a manned turret that you can use. And then there's the backpacks set. So things like the guard dog. There's both the guard dog and the guard dog rover are very useful. They're basically like a little kind of turret that follows you around and shoots your enemies. Again, it's indiscriminate. Like, it'll shoot at the enemies and it doesn't care if you're in the way, either you or your friends. So it can be problematic at times. There's the shield backpack. Oh, go ahead.
Anti-personnel minefield looks crazy.
Oh yeah. Those are good fun. They more frequently kill players than enemies, depending.
I was gonna say.
In certain defense situations, they can be really valuable.
I gotcha.
So if you're like trying to defend a specific location, because there's lots of different mission types. So if you're trying to defend a spot and there's a good like way in which there's going to be enemies coming through a corridor, it's awesome to kind of wall that off. And then the last kind of category of stuff, well, there's two more categories, I guess, is your turrets. So these are stationary turrets that come down and then they'll just shoot at enemies within range. You have ones that are shooting bullets straight and then ones that are doing mortars, so mortars shooting up and coming down. Neither of them care about where you are. They only shoot at the enemies, and if you happen to be next to the enemies or between them and the enemies, good luck. You can hit the deck underneath the turrets. That's actually in the tutorial, if you remember.
Yeah.
And the last category are the exosuits. So
Yeah, that's cool.
they're like mech style things with limited ammunition. They look super cool. They're also highly situationally dependent. They're not just like kill everything. Frequently, they are not very effective against the bots. The bots tend to target them and then take them out really quickly. So they're very situational in terms of their usage, but they can be a really critical tool in certain situations. So yeah, that's just a smattering of the things that are available. There's a lot of stuff. And what I kind of want to try to convey to you is that because there's such a wide variety available, you can really play with different strategies. And there is no one strategy that's just like the goated strategy. There have been in the past, but they've been working really hard to try to make everything viable. So all of your primary weapons, all of your secondary weapons, all of your support weapons, all of your various stratagems, they try to make it so that whatever kind of strategy you want to give a shot, and you'll find more effective and less effective in different situations, but everything should be effective in some set of situations if you know how to use it well. And I think that's really, really important.
So, I'm sorry, I might be getting ahead of the stratagems, but the ship modules affect the stratagems types.
Yes. Yep. So
that's
ship modules are passive buffs. So this is where you use your samples to do this. So your ship, your ship modules, they only affect you. They don't have any effect on anybody else. They just have their passive buffs to your character. They're permanent passive buffs to your character and the equipment that your character brings with them. So like the first one that I just sort of universally recommend is the donation access license is your first one to unlock. The reason is that your support weapons, when they're deployed initially, only come with half of your magazines filled. So you only have half of the total amount of bullets available to you. When you do donation license, it comes filled.
okay.
Which I think is just a really great initial thing to do.
Permanent or purchases permanent access to ammo provided by the Support Our Heroes Fund, which allows patriotic family members to donate supplies to their loved ones in the field.
Yep.
Yeah, these are really funny.
They're so fun. The writers of this game just have a ton of fun writing this stuff. And there's like little things you can find in the field, just like little notepads with like text on them that you can read. And they're amazing. And they give you kind of like there's not even an achievement for finding these things. They're just out there, and if you read them, they give you little flavor text about the world and give you that little bit extra, right? I think that's really great. They also just recently added vehicle customization, so you can skin your various vessels. Okay, so let's. This is great. Oh, we missed it. They have ads that run inside of the ship every now and then that give you like sometimes they're hints, sometimes they're just in-world flavor. One of the things I want to show you that's actually I think a really important part of this game from a design perspective is the war bonds system. So Wes, go ahead and push the R button.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was the acquisition center?
Yeah, so the acquisition center it's got the superstore and super credits, which we can talk about, but the war bonds is the first thing I want to talk about. So war bonds are basically additional content, and a lot of the DLC, I guess it's kind of DLC. It's all managed mostly here. So Wes, by default, you should have access to the Helldivers Mobilize war bond.
Okay.
So if you click on that, there are 10 pages, and basically each page can be accessed by spending a certain number of medals, and on each page there's various things that you can unlock, and these various things will give you a greater arsenal of things to use. Some of them are aesthetic only. So if you look like the very first thing on the first page is the Independence Bringer. That's called a player card. All that does is when your player shows up in the mission drop, that's the card that's behind your player. It's entirely aesthetic. That's all it is. And then you have things like the thing right next to it is this G6 frag. It's a frag grenade, like it's a different grenade. So it has an actual realized mechanical change in the world.
So that'd be obviously a good one to have.
Yeah, well, there's different grenades that are, again, better or worse in different situations. You can unlock different guns, like the SG6, SG8 Punisher. What's really fun is this war bond, which is free initially. You do have to play to get medals in order to unlock things, but actually a lot of the stuff in this are pretty good. Like there's a lot of very valuable stuff in here. I do want to sidebar about, because Leonardo had another comment about the ship management, the way that the game makes classes roles. Kind of, yeah, but what's really nice is you're never committed to any of those roles. You can always unlock new stratagems and try something else out. And yes, the bug armor system, and also the armor system just in general, is phenomenal. There's a lot of really cool videos on YouTube that break down armor and how armor works with the different enemies. I love it. It's really, really cool. How you approach different enemies based on their armor, excellent. It's really great. And actually, like, if you play Deep Rock Galactic, there's some similarities there, but I think it's double or triple the complexity of Deep Rock Galactic. Like, it's really, really cool what they've done with the armor system. Yeah, so Wes, the on page 3 of this war bond, there's that kind of hexagon-looking canister thing on the left side. That's the health pod space optimization. So that's the booster that will give you that. That was that booster that I used last time. In my opinion, that's probably one of the first things you want to try to get to on this page, just because the difference between not having a booster and having a booster is really valuable. Like, you really want to be able to provide a booster, because most of the people you play with that are going to be a higher level than you will have other boosters that provide other value, but this one's so valuable, and you can get it early on enough that, like, getting that and being able to contribute that to your team so that they can pick other ones, it's just a lot of value in that. So I do recommend trying to go for that.
It's come out of the Hell Pod fully stocked with ammo, grenades, and stims.
Yep. Highly recommend that. The Diligence is also a pretty good weapon. The Liberator, which is the first weapon that you have out of the gate, is a great general purpose weapon. They give you one of the best weapons, general purpose, in the game for free out of the gate as your default weapon. The other ones, basically every other weapon is going to be more and more specialized based on situations. So Liberator is really good. Diligence is really good, or at least generally good. So there's lots of stuff, and there's this armor. There's like 3 classes, and the only thing about armor really is they give you armor rating, speed, and stamina regen stats. So light armor, less armor, more speed. Medium armor is even, and then heavy armor is more armor, less speed. And then all of them also will give you an armor passive. So like the armor that I wear gives you 2 additional stims. So for a total of 6. And then when you use the stims, you get a speed boost, just a movement boost. So anyway, there's like tons that we could talk about here, but I just think the sheer volume of customization that you get is so great. Like, it's really, really cool. And there's so many things to try out to give different options and choices. Okay. There's other help. There's other war bonds. There's so much to talk about with those. They're paid, so you can pay for them in order to get access to them using super credits. All of that said, my brother has never spent a dime outside of the main price of the game, because he's collected all of his super credits over time in game to unlock all of the war bonds.
Okay.
So you can unlock them with actual money, or you can just collect in-game currency slowly over time as you play, and then you can unlock them yourself later.
Yeah, I always like the hard but not impossible, support for things that are DLC or purchase only.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I guess purchasable. Purchase only is always like I feel like a crock, I'll never get this unless I really want to buy it.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean it's hard because it's like you want to support them too. So it's
the nice thing is, in the war bonds, you can actually use your medals, and almost every page of the war bonds will have super credits that you can unlock.
Ready for another mission, Helldiver?
So cool too.
I think it's fair where they are encouraging you, if you're able to pay and get access to things, please do support us, support our game. But there's options to not do that if you don't want to do that.
Yeah. There's something to be said.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
If you play the game and you share the game and you get more people involved, that is supporting the team too. Because the more that people play, the more that other people might join, like me, right? I'm probably like I literally bought this game so we could play today.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's available.
is there a way to clean the blood off of my shield, or should I just keep?
Die.
Oh, okay.
That's a badge of honor, son. All right. Let's see if we can do this. I want to do another one.
Okay.
Hellpods primed. Engaging
Well, let's do
orbital
it.
thrusters.
I do like how easy it is to get in and out to the next mission.
Okay, so this is a mission where we have 2 points. So we're going from here to here. So we have to do this first, and then we can do the primary objective. But we also have a secondary over here, which is research station.
Oh, okay.
So Wildcat, I did
by
see your
red.
question. I'm not sure exactly which spot you're talking about. And I'm not 100% certain.
You talking about the ship management, or the only way they make gained classes and roles? The bug armor system is smart, makes you aim at enemies differently.
No, the last one. So the big empty spot in the
Oh.
south of the sector map. On the sector map. Right, because there's like the 2 factions, and then there's like nothing there. Well,
Yeah.
in Helldivers 1, there was another faction called the Illuminate. And they're totally going to come back, and there's been some foreshadowing in the like larger story that's totally going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So, yes. And I suspect they'll probably add more factions as we go along. But let's go ahead and get started. I want to grab... What do I want to grab? We just jumped up 2 mission difficulties. So we're on medium now, just FYI.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's
Say,
grab...
I don't really have anything different to load out, so I think it's.
That's all right. I am going to grab that, and I'm going to grab... I'm having indecision. Grab that. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to grab that. And we'll get this. Okay, let's do it.
Hellpod launch initiated.
So we're going up 2 levels, which we should be able to do no problem. You shouldn't have any issues doing this. But it's going to be a noticeable increase in difficulty. Just warning you. Letting you know ahead of time.
I mean, yeah, we kind of putzed around a bit.
Yes,
talking about-
quite a bit. We did. All right, so definitely gonna want to call this in.
Oh yeah, I
Calling down
forgot.
support weapon.
All right.
Tagging map. Northwest.
Okay.
50 meters.
We're gonna try to move relatively quickly through here.
Bug output spotted. Prepare to exterminate.
Sorry. All right.
Good job.
Dropping a pin. Southwest. 100 meters.
Oops.
That's such a great question, Leonardo. So the question is, players don't usually like friendly fire,
Taste of freedom.
but they don't seem to like mind it too terribly much in Helldivers. And kind of, well, why is that? Part of the reason, and let me be clear, there are absolutely situations where it's not good. And friendly fire has absolutely caused issues. I think part of the reason might just be because Oh, I just got smashed in the face. I think part of the reason might be, in general, because you get so many revives. So you don't just die and then you're kind of like on the ground until somebody picks you up, or I mean, you're kind of on the ground until somebody picks you up because somebody has to call in a resupply. But it's not. Oh yes. Okay, I'm gonna call in something called a hell bomb. If I can.
Did I call a resupply?
Oh yeah, you can call a resupply if you feel like you need it. Don't call it if you don't feel like you need it.
Oh, well, I don't know.
How's your ammo for your primary?
I'll handle the terminal.
Oh, Wes, come over here. I want you to do this. This is so great. I want you to do this.
Let me grab that real quick. Coming.
Okay, I want you to push the pad on this thing.
This thing.
Right over here. Right over here. It's right there. Push those numbers. Now run for the frickin' hills.
What?
Turn around. Turn around.
I'm looking.
Turn around.
Oh.
That's a hell bomb.
How'd you know that that was a bomb and not like... Cause I remember the other one that was like sometimes you'd get...
Bug outpost spotted.
Did it just say what it was when you
Well,
like, hovered
I
over it?
called it in. So it's a specialized... so just like the flag was a localized stratagem, the hell bomb is a localized stratagem. So there's only certain places where you can bring it in.
I also picked up one of those common
Oh, good.
things, so it doesn't destroy that.
No,
Does
no.
it?
No, it
Okay.
doesn't destroy
Well,
this.
It's good to know.
Got a sample.
Alright, I'm coming.
All right.
I'm
Trying to move us fairly quickly through this. Okay, go back to that conversation about friendly fire. I think part of it is that you get so many respawns, and so one situation like isn't the end of the world. Like one friendly fire death, it's a little bit of a like groan, you killed me again, but also everybody kind of does it to everybody at least a couple of times, and so it tends to kind of even itself out a little bit. So like I definitely have killed people on my team before, and then they killed me, and none of it was ever on purpose. It was just, oh, all right. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna move on from here. This is a fairly big nest. Oof. Do me a favor, Wes. Watch my 6.
I'm coming. you went way because I was picking up that ammo.
Oh crap.
Where they at? Where they at?
Oh, bug breach. Crap.
Tunnel breach.
Ooh, that's bad. I did.
Oh god.
I believe in you, Wes. You got a hunter on you.
I know. And I'm like out of ammo.
Oh, don't walk over the mines! Don't walk over the
no.
mines!
Forget what the mines look like.
Oh, bye, Wes. So, you know, it happens. You know, you kill each other sometimes, and then you can come back. And I mean, there's a pretty good like kick system. So if somebody's, you know, abusing it, I mean, just
Ooh.
oh, you fell in a
heck
bad
happened?
spot there, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Say hello to democracy.
I'm trying to pack up.
Not
Oh, good.
Get out! Just run! Just run! Get out of there!
That's called democracy.
Yeah, I get it.
Bag's empty.
Man, yeah, you weren't kidding about the ammo. Like,
Yeah.
you run out really quick.
Okay, we've got samples on the floor. We gotta go grab them.
I got another flying thing.
Ah, stand up. Oh, my grenade launcher. I want that too. Oh, my backpack. Yeah, I also want that. Okay. Then let's get yours. Let's get your machine gun over here. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah.
Dropping a pin.
There.
Close.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Okay. So I think that's definitely a part of it,
200 meters.
for sure. Is you have enough lives that losing one life, not the end of the world. You come back and try it again.
Reloading.
And there are tools available if somebody's just not playing ball. And I think that's critical. Like you got to have the ability to do that. If you can't kick somebody who's a bad actor, it's just gonna be toxic.
Someone decides to collect all your commons and throw them into a lake.
Oh no, your supers. That's much worse.
Bag's empty. Left reloading. Reloading. How'd you like to taste of freedom?
Okay.
Throwing grenade.
Good. All right. That one's clear. You do not have to defeat all of these bug holes, by the way. It's not a requirement.
100 meters.
Not of this mission, anyway. Okay. And actually, as you go up, you actually get more revives the higher the difficulty. Is there any penalty applied for being revived? No penalty other than when you died, all your weapons are dead, are next to your dead body. I'm gonna put a resupply down here. This is the extraction site, so this just wise to leave a resupply there for when you come back. And if you need ammo, there is some ammo right up here.
Vending machine, diet democracy, free yourself.
Yes. Yeah, again, the flavor text around is just great. Yeah, no penalty other than your stuff is wherever you died, and so you have to go collect it if you want it. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not worth it. It just kind of depends.
Calling in an eagle.
You can get some distance on these things.
Attack underway. Have a taste of democracy. Bug out.
This is just a little guy.
Oh,
You alright?
I'm good.
Did I hit you?
Dropping a pin. Northeast.
I didn't
100
get hurt
meters.
at all though. I just got knocked over,
Oh, good.
surprisingly.
Oh, nuts. He got it off.
That
There's about to be a bug breach. I think. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I got it.
was a
Got a
flag.
sample.
Those little guys can trigger a... Ooh, come over here. There's a terminal right here. Those little guys can trigger the bug breaches. They shoot pheromones into the air. It's a little wisp of orange smoke. If they get it off, then it usually triggers a bug hole or a bug breach. Yeah, so these terminals always have little mini games. So just push the up arrow.
Okay.
Okay, now we wait. We're downloading. So basically what we're doing is we're going to download this database, and then we're going to have to grab the hard drive and take it with us to the other spot, and then upload it.
I saw something about that, yeah. Huh.
Get some! Get some!
Oh yeah, that one definitely called a bug breach. Alright, we're going to grab the hard drive. The hard drive is over here. When you have the hard drive in your hands, you cannot use your primary weapon.
Oh, fun.
Or your support weapon.
Oh.
But you can drop it. You just have to remember to pick it up again. You got the hard drive?
Bag's empty.
Yeah.
All right. I'll mark the.
Tagging
Oh, there's a
down.
bug hole
Northeast,
right in front of
100
us. Okay. Oh, there's a cruise mill there behind us.
Bug outpost spotted. Sample collected.
One more, I think. Cool, cool.
Dropping a pin. East.
Okay, it looks like there's one more bug hole on the map. Let's go take care of that, and then we'll get the hard drive uploaded.
So the bug hole is just a radius that you assume is a bug hole?
Yeah, so
Like
on
a
the
little
map,
red
it's that
spot is?
red spot. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Let's see here.
Bug outpost.
Oh, I didn't reach. I didn't reload my rocket, my grenade launcher.
Very nice. I was gonna say, I'm out of my main weapon. So it's like, I can only hold the hard drive for
100 meters.
One of the nice things about playing with a full set of people is that you can have a much more diverse set of strategies to deal with different
Yeah.
situations. And so my loadout, I'm kind of making do with it, but there are ways to take out bug holes way better than what I have right now.
Yeah.
Oh, how do we get into this thing? Oh, here we go.
Marking location.
I'm like right behind you.
Okay, we need to take this to put it in right there.
West.
Where that bug is?
Right where
Need
my
that?
where the eyeball is. I marked it.
Oh, okay.
West.
Not the terminal.
Last
you go.
reload.
Okay, now go back to the terminal and start booting that up.
Okay.
Oh crap, bug breach.
How'd you like the taste of freedom? Throwing supply beacon. Bug tunnel breach.
Yeah, so want to talk a little bit about the social aspects of this. I think the kind of higher level with the I always do that. With the like meta game with the galaxy map and everything, that I think is kind of the core primary social element that brings people together for a common cause.
What am I?
Oh, okay. So how this works is there's a radar dish. I will turn the gear, and you'll tell me.
When it's within the angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going in the right direction. Okay, keep going, keep going. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Push the up button.
Got it.
Excellent.
Makes sense. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I had no
A little bit
idea.
of teamwork.
Wait, so where was the satellite dish?
It's right.
That
It's
thing?
this. Yeah.
Objective
So there's that
Oh,
little.
okay.
north.
There's a little.
Well, how do you do the
wheel.
eyeball thing? Is it just on
Oh,
your
it's
map?
Q. So you point, right click and Q.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
That's more than just adding something to your map. Okay. So is this part of the main objectives? One of the
This
main
is
objectives?
the main objective. Yep. This is it.
Okay.
Once we finish this, we'll finish the main objective.
All right.
From within the game, it's always a battle to fight toxicity from within. Oh, you got to push the buttons. Well done, Wes. That was very well done.
I know my DDR, man. First step mania.
Excellent. That was very impressive. I've seen lesser men struggle with that, Wes. So
I'm not always great, but that's pretty
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
pretty simple to do at times.
yeah, you did great. That was actually that made my heart smile.
I'm glad. That's what I aim for. Aim to please.
Oh, come on. I'm doing weird things with the terrain. Ignore me. Just go to extraction.
That's all good. I blame the bugs.
But yeah, toxicity in the game proper itself. I mean,
Oh.
when you have, you're right.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry, they're getting some weird like clipping in here. Repetitive textures and stuff. So true.
Procedural, right?
It's great until it doesn't work.
No, yeah, but just dealing with toxicity in your game is really challenging, always, right? Because you're always going to have the player who says, "I don't care, I'm going to be as toxic as possible." And I think having the kick is super important for that, just because like you need to get rid of them. But usually by the time you kick them, it's because they already did something stupid or frustrating. But things like the emotes, so like, I guess I don't know if we've really shown these off yet, because we were playing with them before we were live. But
Oh, there's some bugs.
okay, I think we need to get out of here, so I'm going to push the button.
Calling in extraction. Bug tunnel
There we go.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
All right. Whoa.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yes, Wes, come here. The large embrace. Yeah, things like that go a surprisingly large way. So in Deep Rock Galactic, it's the rock and stone button, right? So you can always rock and stone. And there's something about that kind of psychologically brings people together, because you feel that camaraderie, right? We're all in this together.
Bag's empty.
Say hello to democracy.
Let's see.
Oh jeez.
Requesting orbital strike.
I think I ran in front of you too much.
Calling in reinforcements.
Apologies.
Yeah, I'm down.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Oh, you did pick up a backpack somewhere.
What's that?
You picked up a backpack somewhere.
Yeah. I had a dog thing. What are they called?
Guard dog,
Got
yep.
the clean cake.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
The machine gun is nice that they give that one to you at the beginning because honestly, it just feels really good.
Yeah.
That little bit of recoil, like it's a good feel.
Pelican 1, landing in progress.
All right, everybody in.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Get in, Wes.
Extraction.
There you
I
go.
was gonna try to hell dive in there.
You could do that. I frequently do that.
Yeah.
Great question by Leonardo on how do people arrive at the price point for a game. Man, there is so much that goes into that, and I've never had to, fortunately or unfortunately, I've never had to be in the room for that kind of conversation.
Say that marketing question.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's dependent on a lot
For
of
a very
things, right?
complex game like this too. Like,
Yeah, you're right. They could absolutely charge $60 for this. The war bonds do make up for that a little bit. I don't know how it works out, so I think it's maybe about $5 to $10 per war bond, depending. But yeah, there's definitely some conversation there. How much, depending on your base, your marketing. Yeah, there's a number of things going on there. Part of it is, do you have plans for DLCs and purchases? Part of it is, what does your publisher tell you have to do? Because sometimes your publisher just comes and says, you have to charge this and we don't care, you have to do this. And there's really no choice you have at that point. Which actually may have been the case because I don't actually think Arrowhead handled distribution for Helldivers. Like, I think it was entirely Sony. They didn't even have like access to the Steam store page. I think the Steam store page was entirely Sony, managed by Sony.
Reported to the democracy officer.
So,
well, and the interesting thing too is most people are like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm glad it was 40 because if it was 60, I'd be like, ah.
right? Yeah.
But
yeah.
this game thrives on its player base. Like, how many people can
Hellpods Prime.
jump in and play with this?
Engaging
We're going to another one?
Okay, this is a short mission,
All right.
and I want to give you an experience.
Orbit synchronized.
So the first thing when I drop, I'm going to call in something that you are going to use,
All right.
which will be lots of fun.
You are so green and red.
I know, right? Yeah, for real. I think that and that. Yeah, I'm going to go mostly the same loadout as I did last time. Okay.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Yeah, that making the decision on that as a solo, like as an indie dev, it's like a small team or like a solo. Yeah, making that decision's gonna. You really need to spend the time to pay attention to what are the games in your category, like wherever your game sits in the market. Know what other games charge.
Yeah.
All right, Wes, this is for you.
Bug tunnel breach. Calling down a support weapon.
Sending down equipment.
That blue light in the middle there. Run up behind it and push E.
All right.
In the middle, go. Not the
not this
backpack.
Oh,
You took
sorry.
my backpack.
Can I untake it?
Just get in the mech. Get in the mech.
Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. Jeez.
There you go.
That's empty.
How'd you like to chase all freedom?
Got a sample. Bug tunnel breach.
There's one kind of behind you. Just look for the smoke, rising smoke. Oh, there's two over here.
Oh, did not mean to eject out.
You are moving outside the mission area.
Got a sample.
Yeah, don't do that. So this kind of mission is called an extermination mission. So we just have to kill a certain number of bugs. Right now we're at 13%.
Sample collected.
So while we have this, I'm kind of curious about level to level, mission to mission. What constitute like a higher percentage of like commandeering a planet and supporting the
Right. So when
obviously
you
larger missions, harder missions are better for experience?
Yes, yeah. So basically, they have an underlying point value, but you don't actually contribute to liberation unless you complete the mission. So if a mission has, if there's one mission or two or three, you have to beat all of them in order for it to actually count.
Gotcha. So if I'm out of ammo, is this thing done?
Yeah, if you're out for both cannons, then it's done.
Oh, how do I switch one? Oh, maybe I...
It's left mouse button, right mouse button.
Oh, okay.
Ah, crap. Died by
Make
Wolf
it
Gamer.
I'm sorry. Can we revive you?
You can't call stratagems unless you're outside of the mech.
Well, let me get this big guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just...
This is good because the players were getting to see what you were seeing. Call that reinforcement. Oh, you have your map out.
Yeah!
Oh no! No, Wes! No! No! Oh, you got that stim.
Oh my
Good job. Good job.
Alright. Which one is it? Reinforced?
Reinforce. Yep. Oh, well. I'm coming back anyway.
If I have it memorized, it'd be much easier.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Alright, that's fine.
Pointing to the enemy. Bag's empty. Reloading.
If you don't mind, I'm going to grab the mech because it still has ammo in it.
Yep. Of course, I died with the empty mag. Oh my god.
Oh. Hope that wasn't me.
No, I got surrounded.
Alright.
10 minutes remaining. Helldivers,
But you're in a good spot because they were like all around me. So now they're behind me. A little bit. So we're at 63%.
Yep. Right.
Reinforcing.
When I spawn, I need to get my gun back behind this building. Oh, I destroyed the building. That's cool. Alright.
Got a sample.
I'm on cooldown for machine gun. Okay. Well, that's
But you can go. You can find it on the map. It's yellow if you look at the map.
okay. Where my equipment is.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I didn't get my key pushed fast enough. I'm down.
I fubbed that.
It's alright.
Helldivers never die.
Almost there.
Ah.
There you go. Well done. Yeah, I know we gotta wrap up here soon, but we're over time by 5 minutes. But
I know, but they're all here.
we're almost there. We're at 92%. I love the flavor.
Yeah, my goodness.
Oh. All right, we did it. All right. Got to make sure we have the samples. Don't get on the ship yet.
All right.
It'll come right away, but don't get on the ship until I have the samples.
Dang. I want whatever weapon you have.
It helps for sure.
Yeah,
The spread,
really nice.
the spread is really nice. Okay, we got the samples. 9 out of 10. That's pretty good. We can get the ship.
Goodness. I don't need anything else.
All right, we're good. Let's get on the ship. After you, son. Oh no, he missed.
Fine, I'll just crawl.
Just crawl on board. We did it. Yay, we did it. All right. That's Helldivers. So much to talk about. We didn't really get to everything because there's just a lot. But I think Helldivers is a really good game. It's really well realized. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of gameplay. We didn't even scratch the surface of some of the interesting missions that they have. And they're like some common major orders, and then there's special major orders, and special major orders will have special missions to go along with. There's a lot to this game, and I really recommend, if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, I think you'll like this game. Like, I would recommend picking it up. The community is generally less toxic than it could be otherwise, but there's always some. So it's best to grab a group of friends that you know. Heck, if people are on COGG server and you want to go play Helldivers together, let's do it. Let's play him. Let's Helldive.
We have a chat channel on our Discord called Game Time, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
We're trying to find more games we can play together. I think it's just coordinating the time to do it.
Yep. Yep. For sure. For sure. Alrighty.
Cool.
Good work collecting.
Well, Wes, one more for the road. One more embrace.
We're so gross.
Do it. You must embrace.
Bug
Yes.
slime and swamp goo.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, yes. Salute. Salute for the road. All right.
How about a hug? How about a hug?
Keep
No,
up the good
no
work,
NPC?
Helldiver.
Okay,
Once we win, the planets we're fighting over will finally be allowed to prosper.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's well realized. It has bugs, but like it's largely very solid, mechanically speaking, polished speaking.
Yeah.
There's a lot good going on there. The community is generally pretty good. The Discord for Helldivers can be so depending on things in terms of toxicity, but you get that sometimes. Moderating a channel of over 50,000 users is hard.
Oh yeah, I bet. I can imagine.
But yeah, there's a lot here that's really good. I think this is a game that's worth taking some time to think about as designers, and think about, especially if you're creating a game with community elements in it, like how can you do that? I do recommend Deep Rock Galactic for that also. I think there's stuff there that's worth picking up on. And sometimes light touch stuff, just like the Rock and Stone, can go a long way, or doing something more involved like the beer counter in Deep Rock. Takes a little bit more effort to put something like that in a game, but really great. Things like, you haven't seen this, there's a little game console if you've paid for like the premium version or whatever the game, you get a little game console, and it's all of the stratagems, but they give them to you randomly, and you have to like go through them as fast as you can. You get points for how far you get. And so that's just a little nice light touch thing in the lobby area, so you can like compete with each other to see who gets the highest score. It's always fun. So anyway, this has been fun. Thanks, Wes, for jumping on here and being a part of this.
This is great. I'm glad we got to play. And yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on things. Next event for COGG is
Prototype and Play, right?
Yeah, Prototype and Play. Which
Second Friday.
in our Discord.
Yep.
Yeah,
Online.
if you go to thecogg.com, our Discord link is at the top right corner. Usually on a PC, it's a pretty red button. But that'll be the second Friday of July, which is the 12th. That'll be 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a great time if you have something you want to show, if you want to see what our community is making for games. It's a great way for us to kind of share what we're making and give feedback all night long. So definitely check it out if you've never done it. Check it out if you have.
Yeah,
so
that's great. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Thank you for all the great questions and the dialogue in the chat. That always makes it more fun for us when there's some back and forth. It's not just us talking into the void. So thanks for the responses, the questions. Love interacting with all of you. We do this because we love working with all of you, making games together, and that's what this is all about. So, all right. That's Wes and Caleb for COGG. We're signing off. Thank you so much once again, and have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your week.
One more thing.
Oh, Wes, one more thing.
Let me see if I can. I'm trying to remember. How do you switch your emotes? I got a really good emote.
You have an emote?
Yeah.
On what? On Discord?
Oh, no.
On YouTube?
Here, I got it. How do I? Nope. Here we go. Okay. This is for all you guys.
Oh, wait. In game. You're talking in game. 1 second. Okay,
Yeah,
1
yeah.
second.
Oh,
1
I
second.
forgot you're on that screen.
All right. They can see you now.
All right. This is for all you guys for hanging out with us. Oh wait, that's not the right one.
Oh no, did you not switch? You have to click on it, and then you have to click the equip button.
Oh, no.
It's a 2-step process. You have to choose it and then equip it. Sorry, that catches me off guard sometimes too.
Okay.
All right.
Click it.
Click it. And then hit the equip button.
Oh, it is equipped. Oh, it's a victory pose. So
Oh, that's what happens at the end when you like come up from the end of a mission.
Okay. Well, it was a finger pose, and it was for all you guys, but that's fine.
Oh, was it
still
the I probably have it. It's the
guns, like
the victory pose.
Hey.
So what he was trying to do was the finger guns.
Cool.
All right, they've seen it. They've seen what you were trying to
There you
do.
go.
Okay. Now that we completely stalled, stalled the exit, the outro.
Sorry.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right,
Thanks
I'm
so
done.
much. All right. Cheers.
All right. See you guys later.